Whew. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is Friday today. Friday. It's almost the weekend. Uh, it is almost the weekend. Yes, almost the weekend. Happy Friday, shall I say? It's funny. Lately, I had to learn how to really listen to my body. Absolutely amazing when you begin to learn those things, listening to your body. So a lot of time you have to put your ego aside, and so just listen and just sit when it says sit, even though you don't want to sit. But I think sometimes sitting still and not doing anything and sitting with our own thoughts is a lot harder than we realize, because the ability to sit with one's own anxiety is extremely hard, because a lot of us has been programmed to run away from ourselves. So we run away from ourselves all the time. Our emotions, we come up with excuses about being busy. Yeah, but it's good to sit with your own thoughts for a whole day sometimes. Just don't do nothing. Just sit with your own thoughts and actually just deal with the emotion and just sit with your own thoughts. And it's just so hard to do, extremely hard, because we don't want to hear that voice of ours, and it is just energy. That's the way I look at it. It is just energy, and once you listen how to embrace those thoughts and just sit with it, you gain power. It's just pure power, because we just don't like it. We never ever sit with our own thoughts. We always talk about being busy. We want to get things done. We want a career. We want to take these classes. But most of the time, even though when we're trying to stay focused, trying to stay busy, you go into the class, your mind is somewhere else. Then you say, okay, I got to go to church. I'm going to make it a habit. I'm going to go listen to this guy. Each time, even though you're sitting in those synagogues and listening, your mind is absolutely wandering. And when you go down there with a mind that is wandering, what it actually does now, even our own teaching becomes like a drug fix, because once the mind is not sitting still and it's just wandering in the lecture room, regardless of where we go to, now we're just looking for that quick fix that will make sense. So most of the time, when the individuals say things that make sense, we cling on to it for those couple of days. So we look forward to more of it coming. And that's how we get real addictive to it. Good morning. Have a great day. So the whole thing about this thing is that we call consciousness, that we tend to talk about. I love these flowers. Elevation, we call it. Raising this. It just requires certain discipline of the mind. And one of the very good examples of discipline of the mind is by writing to your brain. When I say things like these, people just laugh. And the reason why many don't want to try it is because they're afraid to let go of something. It is funny how when your subconscious mind is talking to you, and you're writing, those things that is really, really in your mind that is holding you back from certain thinking, you just ignore writing it down. Especially if you have to write with your left hand about however you're feeling. So what the writing actually does is it allows you to realize that most of the things that is transparent in your life, in our lives, is something that we could actually stop. But because we want to blame, we will never write it down, because when you write it down, you're letting go of that feeling, that emotion, that energy. And I laugh a lot for these things, because everybody listens to music. We all have music. That's what I love about music. Without realize it, just that piano or that guitar playing, whatever it is, the flute, that music does something to you. It brings back memory. Sometimes it could be good memories, it could be bad memories. So music just bring out different energy in you. And those music that bring different energy in you, the lyrics was written down. Somebody wrote those things down. If the individual did not write those things down, how do you think it is? So when I say write with your left hand, write with your right hand to your brain, it's really looked upon as, what is it talking about? But the only reason why many will not take that serious, because it takes you sitting with your own self, looking in yourself in the mirror and saying to yourself, did so and so really did something to me, or this is just based on my energy? And a lot of times, for most people, that is a reality that we don't want to look up to actually look within and accept that the feelings, the emotions that we're not letting go is actually our own fault. Because blaming is very comfortable. But to actually sit with self is absolutely hard. And the reason being is because you are that energy, you are that God. We can't even sit with ourselves for a whole day, because that's really, to me, sitting with myself for a whole day and just sitting there just thinking, not even picking up a book to read, but just sit. It is way harder than me coming out to run 26 miles, because it requires certain focus. It requires dealing with certain emotions that doesn't really transpire, but it was built upon in your subconscious mind without even realizing it. And that's why the key to all these things called elevation, God, energy, is isolation. Many don't even know what it feels like. Look at that beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful trees, I love that. Many don't even know what it feels like to actually spend an hour, 2 hours by themselves. I always emphasize a lot on the early morning yoga. Getting up early at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to do yoga, to practice, to actually breathe into your own body. There's nothing that can beat those things, because once you do that after 365 days and you're sitting and meditating and dealing with those emotions, don't worry about focus. Just sit. Let all the mind, all the anger and the war come into your body and just sit down and deal with it. After 365 days, you'll be really amazed. But those are the things that we are not ready to deal with. We don't want to sit. We always think somebody has to preach to us and for us to listen. But the reality is, any teaching or preaching that doesn't allow you to go within yourself is questionable. If somebody is speaking things to you and is not telling you to look within yourself, it is questionable, because that's not how you design. But when one is teaching or speaking, and they are telling you to do the most difficult thing, which is to look within yourself, there's at the time you take it serious, because self-realization means different reading, researches, and doing your own thinking, and not what the leader or whatever it is doing. It's all about looking within. All the answers are just within you. And sitting still, getting up in the morning, looking at the sun, especially the whole thing with solar energy, gazing at the sun and asking your brain questions. The reason why we don't think we can ask our brain questions to teach us things is because we do not have faith in that brain. When you truly write stuff to yourself enough, it'll begin to tell you things that you wouldn't even know how you start doing it. Your subconscious mind works in a very powerful manner. Because once you tap into that subconscious mind, you program yourself to think on a very, very high elevation of vibration. And a lot of times, to be able to get to that high vibration, for certain people, not all, for certain, there's just certain things you got to eliminate out of your system. Sometimes it means no drinking. Sometimes it means certain things you can't put in your system. It is all about controlling that taste bug. And a lot of times in our Judeo teaching, our taste bug is not trained to be controlled. So we wondered, we think it, but that discipline is just not at our reach because that side of the brain has been blocked. So yes, that's what I'm thinking of today. It is all within, in you. It doesn't go anywhere. Right to your brain with your opposite hand for 6 months only, and you will see. Sit with yourself. Don't turn on no TV, just sit. Deal with your, what we call in this culture, we call anxiety, which I don't think it is. It's just energy. Deal with that energy, that emotion. Stop running away from yourself. Because every time we are looking for that fix outside of us, it is on top of your abdomen. That's where it is. So I'm here again on this beautiful Friday. I'm going to do a quick 26 today. And that's just it. That's what I was thinking of. And it's like self-realization, shall I say. It is all within. So let me go ahead and focus here. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Another marathon. Yesterday I was like, oh, biscuit. I gotta just sit still. Oh, well. Listen to that inner voice, because it never lied to you. So yes, let me go ahead and stop this thing and continue this. It's funny. The marathon don't even feel like anything anymore. Ain't that some biscuit? I used to look at a marathon before and be so afraid. But the moment I realized my feminine side of me and a woman pushing out a baby, the miles become so easy and easy. So to all the women who are creating life today, I salute you. Every single day, a woman is creating life, a genius, but yet we don't recognize it. But some of us do. I share.